Talk about this today. Did y'all see the pictures going on the internet? She was spotted on like a little brunch date with Ray J.
Like, whatever we going through in this divorce, I just want to know and make sure that you and her good.
How dare him? I control men.
Folks, just in case you thought Wendy Williams' drama could become any more bizarre, consider this recent development. It seems that a serious situation is developing in Tinseltown, as rumors about the former TV diva's life being in jeopardy are circulating. Wendy has recently been spotted with Ray J, a man with a very shady reputation. You won't believe that after all these years, someone is raising the alarm about this friendship. According to Wendy's ex-husband Kevin Hunter, Ray J may have contributed to his ex-wife's recent problems and health concerns. Ray J is said to have been giving her illegal narcotics since 2021, knowing full well that she has been battling addiction for a very long time.
Tell you something, if it happens to me, it could happen to you.
The first person to spill the beans on this messy story was Rare Stun, a girl who has been calling Ray J names and throwing shade at him in her recent Instagram post. You all remember those times when Kevin swore he meant well for Wendy and helped through numerous struggles with substances and alcohol? It turns out he has a lot to say about Ray J and his presence in Wendy's life. Instead of constantly being worried about me, Ray J needs to focus on what he did to Wendy Williams. She ain't been the same since you took her on that substance binge, gang. Grave accusations indeed. Ray J has remained silent on the entire situation involving Wendy. However, further investigation into this man's background reveals a very alarming picture, complete with ties to prominent figures in the industry and even involvement with the
But to be a part of this new television community in any aspect from grip to production to direct.
Since Wendy has been out of the spotlight for some time, we'd assumed that she was concentrating on her health and well-being. However, it appears that this was not the case, and over time, Wendy's problems have gotten worse. Kevin Hunter has come out of hiding to accuse Ray J of exacerbating Wendy's substance abuse problems. As everyone knows, Wendy has been battling demons for decades, and it appears that Ray J made things worse. Given Wendy's health issues, she doesn't need bad influences around her. Her team dropped a bombshell in February 2023, revealing that she had been diagnosed with dementia following a battery of medical tests. It's a wild ride for her and the family, and nobody knows where it will end or what will happen to Wendy in the end.
Why do you want to do this? You know, you have clearly some health issues that still need to be addressed.
With heavy hearts, the fans learned of Wendy's formal diagnosis of frontal temporal dementia and primary progressive aphasia. These disorders severely impair her ability to communicate verbally and understand clearly. What a nightmare for a person who made speaking of her life. Wendy has had difficulty as well. Her medical team declared that it would be practically impossible for her to carry on working at all, shattering all of her hopes of making a spectacular return. She was on occasion seen unable to form words and acted erratically, including during tapings of her talk show, which left many fans concerned and confused. Wendy has been battling hardships in her life for what seems like forever. But this is where things go wrong. After the divorce, the former TV star was besieged by vultures who were feeding off of her vulnerabilities and problems. Kevin Hunter was forced to stand by and observe this for a few years. They weren't exactly helping. In fact, they were making things worse.
Like real concern or messages regarding what could be happening.
Now that Wendy's life is in grave danger, it appears that Kevin intends to put an end to the conflict and do everything within his power to aid his ex-wife in getting better. He claims that this is the reason he must return to her life, not as a spouse because the train has long since passed, but most likely as a guardian. In his own words, he claims that no one was really helping Wendy and that the documentary about her life opened his eyes. People in Wendy's inner circle were allegedly encouraging her addiction, thinking it would make her easier to control. But it looks like many people aren't on Kevin's side here, and they believe he doesn't have best interests at heart, as one person commented. Kevin was shocked to see his ex-wife portrayed in such a negative light in the Lifetime trailer. He was also completely taken aback by the fact that their son Kevin Jr. ended up signing on to the project after he initially said he wanted nothing to do with it. Kevin Hunter should keep Wendy Williams' name out of his mouth. Everyone knows he did Wendy wrong, and yet another user mentioned there are countless photos of Ken and Wendy together. And occasionally Wendy appears to be unaware of those shots. Ken was a terrible husband, but let's go back to this Fury J dude and his role in Wendy's life following their divorce.
Seen locking arms with Wendy Williams, and after they enjoyed an afternoon lunch together.
Not only did Kevin notice the odd pattern Ray J seems to have when he is around female celebrities who are struggling with substance abuse, but his strange friendship with Wendy also makes me think of Whitney Houston's story. Whitney went through difficult times, particularly toward the end of her life. And guess who was by her side the entire time? Yes, the same guy who has been bothering Wendy since Ray J. Their closeness led many to wonder if there was more going on. Some even dubbed Ray J her boy toy. Ray J denied the rumor, claiming he was only a friend, yet he was correct. Prior to Whitney's strange demise, they were spotted together, leaving everyone in suspense. Her autopsy also sparked questions because of discrepancies that suggested there was more to the story than what was initially published and what Ray J had to do with it all.
Being around town with Whitney Houston. Now I know, hanging out. Well, what's the deal right now?
People aren't buying the official narrative that Whitney simply drowned in the bathtub. Instead, a private investigator uncovered some unsettling details, such as defensive wounds on her body and jaguar right. Whitney has been outspoken in her assertion that Whitney wasn't just beaten to death in the bathtub. Fans are wondering if Ray J was involved. And given Wendy's circumstances, people are starting to ask the same questions. Kevin Hunter Ray J may be engaged in Wendy's troubles, according to allegations that Wendy's ex has been stirring up. Although Kevin currently assumes the role of a helpful ex, let's face it, his past with Wendy wasn't quite perfect or should I add that it was a complete mess. This man has been chasing after her money for a number of years. He has been complaining bitterly about how Wendy broke up with him and didn't pay him any maintenance, but he said he was worth every penny.
Whatever I don't have, whatever is taken away from me that God don't want me to have, I'm gonna get back.
People must keep in mind that, despite his attempt to appear like a knight in shining armor, Kevin was also attempting to obtain Wendy's money following their divorce, saying that his wife hadn't been nice to him since the checks stopped arriving. It's obvious that Wendy is surrounded by people who could take advantage of her, and Kevin is also involved in attempting to get his share of the action. However, while Wendy is battling her demons, money is the last thing on her mind because of the possibility that her unsettling association with Ray J could be more detrimental than Kevin's attempts to make some money win.
Watch yourself in a ratchet environment and you do either ratchet.
Not to be forgotten, though, is that Wendy has a contentious relationship with Kevin. Although he claims he doesn't want anything from her, Wendy has said in an interview that he was the one who set off her mental collapse by deceiving her for 10 years. I've been aware of her practically from the start, and I know Kevin is a serial cheater. Although AG may not be everyone's cup of tea, Kevin feels that Ray J is actually Wendy's handler and puppet master, pulling strings behind the scenes. Furthermore, he thinks that Ray J is the reason Wendy enters and exits rehab programs so frequently. Every time she sobers up and starts over, Ray J supposedly reappears with a new temptation, plunging her back into a destructive cycle.
People knew, but they wouldn't say anything.
Fans also think this may be true given Ray J's ties. As one fan said, Kevin is also criticizing the industry elites, saying they like Wendy when she's down and out because it's easier to manipulate her that way. Ray J is Diddy's runner boy. Diddy still hated Wendy because she was the first to expose him for the devil. He is Ray J is evil, and I can't wait until karma catches up with him. It's crazy to even consider history repeating itself and Ray J being involved in Wendy's current situation, especially considering his past and connection to Whitney Houston just before she tragically passed away. What do you think about this, guys? Do you think Kevin's spilling the truth, or is he just looking for a payday from Wendy's deep pockets? Another user added, "It's so weird that Ray J would have anything to do with her." Please leave a comment below with your ideas, and don't forget to see my other videos.